Right in front of me here is the continuing resolution bill that up until yesterday was slated to be passed by both houses and signed by the president to avert a government shutdown. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to page 233, where it states, prohibiting the use of federal funds for stadium. The Declaration of Covenants entered under subsection A1 shall include provisions to ensure that the district may not use federal funds for stadium purposes on the campus, including training facilities, offices, and other structures necessary to support a stadium. It's spelled out for you right there in front of you in the bill. No, there is no money being earmarked for building a stadium in Washington, D.C. in this bill. The thing about Twitter and social media generally is that anybody can say whatever they want. There's no filter, no nothing, no anything whatsoever. You need to take everything you see there with a grain of salt. And it doesn't matter if it's being presented to you from a commentator from the left, a commentator from the right, or whatever. They all have an agenda. And it is your responsibility, since there is no responsibility being taken by the social media companies to do this, to really vet that information. Sometimes this is very difficult, and I understand that sometimes this misinformation can be difficult to parse out and solve. But in the case of a federal continuing resolution bill and information related to it in it, you can read the bill. You can read the bill. You can just read the bill. Now, there are two other points I'd like to make from a working class perspective. The first is, why is this continuing resolution so long? 1,547 pages. Well, in government, in order to earn the vote of a congressman, you must often get them to agree to some form of a concession into the bill. Sometimes these concessions are very useful, very helpful to the general population, but many times these concessions are more so something to appease a corporate donor. The other comment too that I can think of is that a lot of times bills run so long is because we live in a very large and complex society, and we don't have the time in the world to make everything individualized bills. So if we want to make a substantial, meaningful reform, we need to oftentimes corral things together. But I certainly don't think like 1,500 pages is that sort of substantive amount that is reasonable. The other point I'd like to make is Elon Musk's real reason for wanting to tank the continuing resolution is that he wants to see the debt ceiling raised or suspended. And also, he wants that to be done not under President Trump's watch. He wants it done under Joe Biden's watch, because that way Trump and Musk don't have to carry the weight of blame for doing it, which is, I find, a little bit of a counterintuitive argument, because if you're the one advocating and pushing for this to cause the bill to fail, then aren't you the ones who actually own it? Certainly, I don't think raising the debt ceiling is something that is directly helpful to the working class, unless you actually do something in mind to properly cut government spending, properly cut and balance the budget. And once you have successfully done proper cuts of government spending and balancing the budgets, actually give a tax break to specifically the working class. Alternatively, you can also look at raising the taxes of the uber wealthy to help balance the budget. And really, that's something we really should seriously consider in combination with cutting and spending with the government, within the government. But I sure as hell guarantee you that Elon Musk, the richest person in the world, does not want a higher tax. So, in advocating for raising the debt ceiling, at the very least, he's advocating for not raising his own taxes, and perhaps is looking for he himself a tax break for himself. And neither of those things, I think, really have the working class in mind.